Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 14th Annual Governor's Award for Excellence in Global Trade. My name is Jonathan Bricker. Thank you for joining us. I'm fortunate enough to be the chair of the Arkansas District Export Council. In my primary role, I work for Regions Bank, located in Northwest Arkansas. My banking career started off in international business development, and now I'm a commercial lender with a focus on commercial and industrial businesses. I appreciate you all taking the time to be here today to celebrate the success of the Arkansas companies in the world of exporting. And I'd like to welcome those watching at home and thank you to PBS for live streaming the event this year. PBS being here was made possible by the donations of viewers like you. Thank you. If you all thought I was going to pass up an opportunity to say that, you're gravely mistaken. We're very fortunate this year to have so many generous sponsors. This is our largest and only fundraiser of the year, and your support allows us to provide our services for the entire year. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our sponsors. I'd love to give a special welcome to some state secretaries that we have in attendance as well. If you wouldn't mind waving as I introduce you. Arkansas Department of Agriculture, Secretary Wes Ward, who last week was just elected to president of the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture. Congratulations. Arkansas Department of Corrections, Secretary Lindsay Wallace. Arkansas Department of Labor and Licensing, Secretary Darrell Bassett. Arkansas Department of Education, Secretary Jacob Oliva. Arkansas Department of Energy and Environment, Secretary Shane Corey. Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration, Secretary Jim Hudson. Arkansas Department of Human Services, Secretary Christy Putnam. Arkansas Department of Inspector General, Secretary Allison Bragg. Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, Secretary Shay Lewis. Arkansas Secretary of the Military, Colonel Chad Bridges. Thank you for your service. Arkansas Department of Public Safety and Arkansas State Police, Colonel Mike Hagar, and thank you for your service. Each of you play a special part in improving the lives and the businesses of Arkansans. Thank you all again for being here. Unfortunately, the Governor and Secretary McDonald couldn't be here today. I'm sure they're on a trade mission helping to showcase the benefits of doing business in Arkansas. I'd like to give a very special welcome to my fellow Catholic High Rocket, Congressman French Hill. That's right, go Rockets. Congressman Hill has represented Arkansas's 2nd District since 2015. I was going to mention that you serve as the Vice Chairman of the House Financial Services Committee and the Chairman of the new subcommittee tasked with overseeing all areas related to digital assets and financial technology, but we have a lot of bankers in the room, so I didn't know if you'd want me to do that or not. Also, we have somewhat of an alumni reunion happening today. I have a good friend of mine that I'm lucky enough to work alongside some projects from time to time. He currently works for Stevens Inc., but was the previous Secretary of Commerce. I'd like to thank Mike Preston for being here. I assume most of you in this room probably understand what the deck is, but for those of you that got asked to come to some random award ceremony and you just want to get out of the office for a lunch, allow me to briefly describe who we are and what we do. We are a private, nonprofit, education-based organization consisting of experienced exporters and business people who provide support to companies that are already exporting, and we help mentor new to exporting companies. Each deck member has been appointed by the U.S. Secretary of Commerce because of his or her real-world trade expertise. We also serve as a link between these companies and the U.S. Commercial Service and the Arkansas District Export Council. If you're a council member or a friend of the deck, would you mind standing up for me? I just want to take a minute and say thank you all. Thank you for dedicating. Thank you for dedicating your time and your efforts and being a mentor for the companies in your areas. Okay, I hope you're all ready to talk about something exciting. Exports. All right. I promise I'm going to try to make it sound a little bit more fun than that. Okay, now picture this. Somebody in Paris sitting down to dinner being served up a plate, and it's got that Arkansas-grown rice. Or someone in Tokyo sipping on an amazing coffee being roasted right here in the natural state. Nowadays, we're also sending sake overseas. Who knows? Maybe the next big fashion trend in Italy will be something made in Arkansas. But let's be real. When you think of Arkansas, you don't think of global trade. We think of the beautiful landscapes. We think of the Razorbacks and barbecue. Well, today, I'm hoping we can change that a little bit. We're here to remind everyone that Arkansas is much more than that. We're a state that punches above our weight. Or my personal motto, small but mighty. Yeah, I know. I had to go there. We've already got some big momentum going in the export game, but we're not stopping there. We want more Arkansas companies to dip their toe into international waters. Trust me, it's not as scary as it sounds, especially when you've got the Arkansas District Export Council by your side. You can think of us as your friendly tour guides to a world adventure. For those of you thinking, exporting, that sounds like something only the big guys do. Well, think again. This isn't just for the Fortune 500 companies or the massive industries. We're talking about businesses of all sizes, from the small town farmer to the tech startup company hustling in their garage. The world is wide open, and Arkansas has plenty to offer. Now, I know it may also sound daunting at first. I get it. Port closures, what are we going to do with that? The thought of figuring out international shipping or navigating customs can make your head spin. But here's the deal. You don't have to do it alone. We've got workshops, webinars, and an entire community ready to help you every step of the way. So why should Arkansas businesses step into the global game? Well, first off, why not? Did you know that companies that export tend to weather the storm better than those that don't? Did you know that they pay higher wages to their employees? They also create more jobs because they have to produce more goods because of increased sales. Plus, let's be honest, it'd be pretty cool to say, yeah, I'm exporting to Europe, Asia, or beyond. Just imagine the bragging rights at Thanksgiving. I'm just sending off another shipment to Brazil. No big deal. All right, but exporting isn't just about selling products. It's about growing the brand of Arkansas. Every business that steps into international trade creates jobs, boosts the economy, and puts our state on the map in a whole new way. So I would like to make it, if I'm traveling out of the country and somebody says, oh, where are you from? And I say, proudly, Arkansas. And they just look at me with this blank stare. And I say, on the map, it's next to Texas. Every time. Speaking of, I was in Dallas for a conference 2 weeks ago, and I had to sit there and listen to them brag about how in 2023 they're the top state for exports for the 22nd year in a row. And I'm not saying we have to export more than Texas, but it would be nice to beat them in something besides football. So here's my challenge for you all today. Let's take Arkansas to the world. Whether you're a seasoned business veteran or just getting started, I promise there is room for you in the global marketplace. And when you're ready, we'll be right here to help you make the leap. Thank you all for being here today and believing in Arkansas's potential. Here's to big dreams, bold moves, and taking Arkansas to new heights, one export at a time. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. I think this would be a really good opportunity to introduce and recognize the very hard work of my executive team. Larry Walther, treasurer for the state of Arkansas, along with Bailey Hall. They are responsible for keeping the books and making sure that we are fiscally responsible, as they put it, when putting this event together and throughout the entire year. Brittany Scott is a co-vice chair with the assistance of Christina Ballard of Smart Reproduction out of Jonesboro. They were responsible for finding companies to apply for the Governor's Award. Brittany couldn't be here today. She's taking care of a sick child, so we're thinking about her and her family today. And then lastly, Michael Schreckenhofer, co-vice chair of Leather Brothers out of Conway, and he was responsible for bird dogging all of our wonderful sponsors. In fact, he did such an amazing job, we are fortunate to not have one, but two platinum sponsors. I'd like to introduce and call to the stage Steve Presley. Steve is the Vice President and General Manager of Verco Manufacturing. Steve oversees 3 factory operations in Conway, as well as the factory in Torrance, California. He's a 36-year career veteran and focuses on all manufacturing and support operations of the factories. He's well recognized for his many skills in manufacturing, supply chain, strategic planning, logistics, and more. My goodness. Verco won the Resilience Award in 2022. They are the leading manufacturer and supplier of classroom furniture and equipment. They've proudly served the education community for over 74 years. Their Conway location has approximately 1.75 million square feet of operational space and distribution. We were lucky enough to take a tour one year, and that place is impressive. Obviously, Verco was hit hard during the pandemic, but through perseverance and hard work, their sales rebounded, and they continue to grow, especially to export markets. Steve?
Thank you, Jonathan. And I'm no public speaker, so I'll just preface this. But thank you for the introduction. I'm Steve Presley, Vice President, General Manager of Verco Manufacturing. Verco is proud to be one of the platinum sponsors for this year's 14th Annual Governor's Export Awards. I'd like to welcome all of the award winners today on behalf of Verco. Thank you for being here, and congratulations to each of you for winning an award, and we look forward to hearing each of your stories as you get on the stage later. I would like to recognize Congressman French Hill that's in attendance today, Dr. Toby Malachi, our speaker. We look forward to hearing your remarks soon. Thank you for being here, sir. All the representatives from the state, we thank you for being here as well. You help make Arkansas be a pro-business state. You make it easy to do business in Arkansas, and you also help the mission of the District Export Council, which is to obviously increase the export of goods and services abroad. So thank you all for being here and for your help. While I've got the stage just for a couple of moments, I'd like to briefly tell everyone about Verco, if there's anyone in the room that might not know who we are. We're a very small company, but we got a big heart. Verco's got 3 factories in Conway, Arkansas, about 1.75 million square feet, as Jonathan mentioned. We've got some amazing technology, a ton of different equipment and things is very impressive, but our number one asset are our employees. We've got a great group of employees, and we couldn't do it without them. Our founder, Julian Virtue, founded the company in 1950 in Los Angeles, California. That's where our corporate headquarters currently are. We have a factory out there as well. But in Arkansas, our 3 factories take care of about 70% of the revenue for the corporation. In the furniture world, we are the largest integrated school furniture manufacturer in the nation. The easiest way to tell you what Verco does, if you take a school, pick it up, turn it upside down, everything that falls out is what we do. That's the easiest way to describe it. Verco not only does school furniture, we provide a lot of different furniture solutions for convention centers, for the office, hospitality markets, places of worship, things like that. We have totally went from a manufacturing organization. We're Verco Manufacturing, but in my 36 years at Verco, we have moved from manufacturer to also sales, distribution, and installation. So we're also a service company now that actually is one of the largest segments of growing in the school furniture market. A lot of the budgets and things don't allow for the staffs that they used to have. So now we actually go into a school, do the full installation, and they walk out with the school ready to walk into. So we're very proud of that. As I said, though, our employees are our number one asset. If you were to walk through one of our factories, the average tenure of the employees just in the factories is a little over 15 years. If you just step up into the management ranks, our average tenure is a little over 22 years. Today, I'm blessed to be with about 10, 11 of my colleagues out here from Verco, so thank you guys for coming and supporting. But when you look at the table, we have a little over 325 years of experience in this group of people here. So Verco is home, Verco is heart, and for a country boy from Valonia, Arkansas, graduated from UCA, go Bears. So to be a part of such an organization is amazing to come in and work with every day. But we are proud to be the nation's #1 supplier of educational school furniture. And so we're proud to not only support our students throughout the U.S., our educators throughout the U.S., but also to 75 countries internationally. And really that 75 countries is what brought me here today to be in front of you. My friend Michael Schreckenhofer down here that's enjoying some kind of brownie, gotcha. Michael heads up Leather Brothers in Conway, and Mike's a good friend of mine, and a couple years ago, he's like, hey, Steve, have you ever heard of the DEC? And I'm like, what are you talking about? District Export Council, what are you talking about? Anyway, Leather Brothers had received one of the awards, much like what someone's going to receive today, and he was telling me about it, and we were talking about Verco exporting chairs, desks across the world, of which we do. And so he urged me, nudged me, hey, you guys should apply. So we did, and we, as Jonathan mentioned, we won the Resilience in Manufacturing Export Award 2 years ago. And it was such an honor to win that award. For the 75 years almost that Verco's been in business, all the employees are so dedicated, and it's an award for them. It's nothing to do with Steve or even the 10 or 11 people that are here with me today. It's what our employees do every day, but it was a huge recognition for Verco to receive this award. So as we progressed on, we did a little plant tour for Jonathan, wherever Jonathan went, and then he twisted my arm a little bit and said, hey, Steve, why don't you join the council? So not really knowing what the District Export Council function was, but like many of you in here today, a lot of us serve on different boards for civic organizations, nonprofits, churches. We give back time, talents, resources in any way we can help. And I thought, well, there's a lot of smart people, but if you want me to, I'll give it a shot. So I did. They accepted me. Secretary of Commerce said, yeah, you can actually do this, which was surprising in itself. But nonetheless, joining this board has been very rewarding. Of a lot of the civic work, nonprofit work, things like that that I've done in my career, this has been one of the most rewarding. So I'd also like to thank all of the District Export Council members that are here that has made this day possible. I've never been around a group of people that's so passionate about a venture such as exporting out of the great state of Arkansas. So again, on behalf of Verco, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and enjoying today's festivities.
Thank you for that, Steve. Oh, you're much taller than me. Hold on. All right, Steve. I appreciate you and Verco's continued support throughout the year. Thank you. Next, I would like to recognize and welcome to the stage Mr. Rudy Ortiz. Rudy is the chair of the Education Committee for the DEC, and he is responsible for all of our webinars. He's the previous chairman of the DEC and owner of Strategic Business Services. He's an advisor to companies in a wide variety of international businesses and export services. He is very well versed and experienced in every aspect of exporting and helping companies grow their bottom line. Rudy, thank you so much for being a platinum sponsor.
Thank you and welcome. It's really great to see a big crowd like this supporting the export community and the District Export Council. One of the comments that was made a little bit earlier was the fact that it's not just the large companies that are doing exporting. And to give you some statistics, 85% of the exports coming out of this country are small and medium-sized businesses. One would not think that, but that is what the statistics say. So very definitely is not just the big GM and IBMs of the world that are doing exporting. And so for those of you perhaps that may have been sitting on the edge for a while, considering whether to export or not, I will tell you that the District Export Council is here to be able to help you, to guide you, and to make the trip to expanding your sales internationally as risk-free as possible. At the end of the day, the reason that the District Export Council exists and what it does is provide training to anybody who is either trying to expand their existing exports or are interested in starting their journey in exporting. And we provide all sorts of guidance, mentoring, and training. We put on somewhere between 13 and 14 webinars a year on various aspects of exporting. And the training is intended to provide you the knowledge, the saying about you don't know what you don't know. Well, our idea is to try to get some of these things that you have to look out for on your radar, and then ask us for additional information, and we will provide you whatever additional guidance is necessary. So that is really at the core of what the District Export Council does. So as Jonathan was saying a little bit earlier, I'm with Strategic Business Services, and the main role of the SBS is trying to help people grow their business both on the domestic side and on the international side. But since this is an international forum, I will address my comments pertaining to that. As it turns out, Strategic Business Services is a partner, is a U.S. partner for a consortium called Global Market Entry Consultants, otherwise known as GMAC. And we're in 31 countries and 6 continents currently. And in working with both my company and our consortium, GMAC, it allows us to be able to expand internationally, to help you expand internationally with a trusted alliance of market entry experts. And this has the advantages of providing accountability, experience, expertise, transparency, and a lot of value. Using SBS, Strategic Business Services, and GMAC also provides a one-step solution for your market entry, export and import efforts, as well as finding distributors and suppliers. And also, if you're looking to invest in overseas companies, we can help you to collaborate and to find you partners to do that, to find distributors and all sorts of partners so that you can expand your businesses internationally and your investments internationally. Now, I want to divert to something that I have been talking about for the last 4 years, ever since COVID hit, and that is supply chain diversification. Many of you have heard me talk about this before because it is so incredibly important and has become increasingly important. I have predicted in the past how things were going to go, and sure enough, they have gone that way, which is to say worse. So one of the things that is changing rapidly, and it's something that you guys need to be paying very close attention to, is the worsening relationship between the U.S. and China. I think that we've gotten to the point now where each one of the countries is unfortunately on a war footing, and it's not likely that we're going to be able to recover the relationship at any time soon. And as a consequence of that, using China as your supply chain, as part of your supply chain, is really not tenable or viable anymore. And so I want to, emphasize that if you still have as part of your supply chain in China, that you start looking elsewhere if you haven't already. It is getting very short term before that's just not going to be viable for you. And as you might remember, during COVID, there was a situation where many companies, both in Arkansas and elsewhere, went out of business because they could not get a single part to be able to finish whatever product they were manufacturing. And so all it takes is one screw, one widget to be able to kill your product and make it just a paperweight. And so supply chain has always been important, but it is increasingly important, and I very strongly urge that you make moves to try to solidify your supply chains. Now, in terms of that, the other thing that I think you guys have become aware of is that there are several ports in the United States and throughout the world that are on strike. And as a matter of fact, my daughter contacted me yesterday, and she said that she was at Walmart and they didn't have toilet paper. Does that sound familiar? So consequently, you know, any break in the chain, whether it comes from the fact that we are having problems with various countries or whether there are strikes, makes the supply chain very, very fragile. And your businesses are absolutely dependent on the dependability of the supply chain. Once again, if you don't get a single part, it's just a paperweight. And so one of the things that I always urge my clients to do is to try to have more than one supplier. Two and even three is even better. It would be ideal that you have at least one supplier that is in the U.S. and hopefully, you know, made in the U.S., but also caution you to understand that just because it says made in the U.S. does not mean that 100% of what they're making is sourced in the United States. We're guilty of sometimes saying, well, you know, I get my parts from Bob in California, not knowing that Bob gets his stuff from Malaysia, China, elsewhere, okay, and that there are issues that have been around for a while now and are continuing to grow that could put your companies at risk. And so bringing your supply chains closer to you, I think is extremely important. I'd like to be able to see not only that you will have at least one supplier in the United States and hopefully sole sourced here in the United States, but also that we use our partners in Canada and in Mexico through the USMCA, the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, to bring those supply chains closer. That's going to mitigate some of the risk in terms of political problems and also distance problems. Additionally, the cost of having inventory, to keeping inventory, a large amount of it because of the long time frames. Like for instance, if you're using China, very, very often it takes 2 or 3 months to get your stuff, even when things are running smoothly. And so in order to try to reduce the amount of inventory that you have on hand, having your supply chains closer will really help. You know, I tell my clients that when you look at inventory on racks, what you really should be seeing is dollars, stacks of dollars sitting in your warehouse, because that's actually what they are. And if you're having to use up capital to have inventory, that means that you don't have capital for other things, i.e. to grow your company, to hire more people. And so having a limited amount of inventory to a degree is very, very useful. Getting your supply chains closer by using Mexico and Canada and perhaps some places in South America as part of your supply chain is going to be very, very important in terms of mitigating the risk that is out there currently and growing, not getting better, but growing in terms of having parts not available when you need them, whether it's political or whether it's the unions striking throughout the world, not just in the United States. Those are all risks that every one of you face, and we need to look to those solutions that are as viable as possible to try to mitigate those risks. I will just end my comments in terms of supply chain. There are some organizations out there that are supply chain monitoring services, and there are a number of them. And what they tend to do, what they do, is you give them a list of who your suppliers are, and they will keep in touch with them to find out what's going on, to make sure that there isn't anything going on that could put your supply chain at risk. It could very well be that there's a hurricane, a tsunami, an earthquake, X, you name it, a strike that will wind up putting your supply chain at risk, and they will monitor all those possible events and give you reports of what's going on to make sure that you do not have a problem. But the biggest thing, the most important thing that you can do to try to mitigate the risk is to have multiple suppliers, not just one, and preferably at least one of them in the United States. With that, I will close because we want to, of course, have our guest speaker, who's the main course, so to speak, today. And I hope that you enjoy the event today. The companies that have been selected are great companies, growing companies. They're hiring people. They're generating revenues for Arkansas. And I congratulate each and every one of them. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Yep, I'm here. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Rudy. I have the distinct 4 White House administrations and thousands of small and medium-sized enterprises, private sector business leaders, CEOs, and international government officials at the highest levels. I hadn't even mentioned that he is a drummer, and out of high school, he was being recruited by the Pittsburgh Pirates to play professional baseball. So, Dr. Malachi, thank you so much for traveling to be down here today, and I'm really grateful. Thank you. I do my research.
Sure did. Wow, thank you so much. I'm going to stopwatch here. Good afternoon. Is there any questions on what I just covered? This is truly an honor to be here in so many ways. I'm just going to take a short amount of time because I'm not the reason you're all here. And I really want to thank you for allowing me to share in this great setting today for those who have achieved something, the companies who have achieved something. I've got a little cold right now. I didn't have it. Indiana, Congressman, we had 60-degree weather. I come down here to Arkansas, in North Carolina, and all this pollen hits me like a ton of bricks. So I'm on steroids right now or something. But someone asked me when I was coming in, they got a lot of questions for me to answer. So do I carry security? Yes, I do. God. But to the Secretary of State Police that's here, I do carry a badge. I'm also a chaplain with our Marion County Sheriff's Department back in Indianapolis. So thank you, sir. This is an honor for me in so many ways to be here. And I want to take just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, to really thank Jonathan Bricker. He has been one of the most outstanding, exemplar people I think I've ever worked in over 42 and a half years in business. He's a super guy, highly welcoming, goes out of his way to make sure I was okay. We had a little delay with the airlines. They had a different attitude, if you ever flown, and so we had a bit of a layover, and he's just been awesome. So give him a hand, please, would you? And then Heidi's the one that arranged for me to get down here. Where's Heidi? Heidi's just been outstanding back there. Thanks for getting me down here, Heidi. It's a little bit of a mix, but thank you so much. And I want to thank each and everybody here for the deck, and for Sarah Huckabee, the governor. Please tell her I said hello. I know her dad, so she couldn't be here, so I understand, but we'll give her congratulations anyway. And so many of y'all want to meet, and Congressman Hill, nice to meet you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I know all my congressmen, all my senators. If you don't know your congressmen and senators, get to know your congressmen and senators. I really do, because they can do a lot for you, and the people from the U.S. Department of Commerce. This is just a vast, great opportunity to be here with them and have them here in attendance. I'm going to be a little emotional here just for a second. My grandpa is from Arkansas. Yeah, Razorback. He's from a town called Hensley, Arkansas. Now, I looked on the maps, got like 97 people left. So I got to be kin to them. I'm sure they stand out. I'm sure I'd probably stand out if I was over there. So I'm a little emotional there. And Grandpa, God bless him, couldn't read or write. Just barely read or write. But Grandpa taught me something. He taught me to be honest, have integrity. Nobody owes you anything. You work for what you're going to start a 33rd year after I resigned from General Motors Corporation, 2 divisions. When I started trade, I was 7 feet 2, 950 pounds. So it'll beat you right down. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Trade, ladies and gentlemen, I think, matter of fact, I know, for the SMEs in the room, small, medium-sized enterprises, we're the bedrock of America's economy. We are. And I take that very, very, very seriously. And I remember my big first speech came up in Washington, D.C. And you know, I'm well known back in Indiana, and, you know, parts around. And so I went to the local tailor shop. I said, listen, I'm Dr. Toby Malachi. I'm called the global godfather of trade. I'm going to go to our nation's capital. There's going to be 4,000 people from all the world coming to hear me speak. Can you make me a 3-piece pinstripe suit? Oh, yes, Dr. Malachi. I recognize you from TV, radio. Brings my NC. Called in small business leaders from around the country to come in and want to talk his views on trade and this new thing they're starting called NAFTA. But as he was speaking, we're in the White House, and he's walking by. He keeps looking at me. Walk by again, he keeps looking at me. Walk by again, keeps looking at me. Now, my colleagues are saying, like, hey, are you okay? The person keeps looking at me. I'm a brother. And I know these Secret Service agents carry big guns. I'm a little nervous here. I said, well, I want any money? No, I don't want any money. I don't know him, but okay, nonetheless, so when it's over, they tell you keep your seat until the president walks out of the room. So Alexis Herman comes over to me, her southern voice. She said, well, the president would like to speak with you. And I said, okay. So she said, follow me. He's going to be right through this door, and there's this special door, as you all know. So I go through this door, and there's Bill Clinton. We're about this far apart, and I'm there like, well, hi, Mr. President. He said, you noticed me looking at you, didn't you? Oh, no, I didn't pay attention to that, sir. I didn't see you. He said, well, I heard about what you do back in Indiana and what you're doing for the boards that you're on in small business and trade. He said, I'd like for you to be one of our leads for our country as an advocate leader, and we'll call it an unofficial, official White House appointment volunteer for trade, and we'll pass NAFTA. And that's literally how I got into international trade for negotiating over 95% of our free trade agreements. I think we need a couple more. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But that's how I got started. But I'll tell you something. My mother, God bless her, was in my office in Indianapolis, Indiana. She's only been there one time. Connersville, my hometown. Actually, Connersville was so small, the Avon lady doubles as a church bell. So I get this. So in my office one time, she walked in, she saw my plaques on the wall. She said, one day, one of my boys is going to go to the White House. When he does, he's going to know how to speak the King's English language, and his shoes are going to be shined. That's all she said. So I was invited to the White House with the passing of NAFTA. I got to testify as Congressman for the full House of House Ways and Means Committee. That was really an honor. And so I'm on the front row. I'm on the side row right here. And, you know, it was really quite a deal. It really was really an honor. And there were 4 presidents of the United States of America there, former Jimmy Carter, President Ford, George Herbert Bush, and of course, President Clinton and Vice President Al Gore on the stage. And so I got a phone call, and one of our local guys, good friend of the family, called my mother, who's in the hospital dying of cancer. And then Larry called and said, Beaner, called her Beaner because she was a tall, you know, athlete like I used to be. And she said, Beaner, said, you got television on. So she's in the hospital. I said, yeah, turn on CNN. So she turns on CNN, and lo and behold, she sees her oldest boy in the White House, not with one president of the United States of America, but 4 presidents of the United States of America. She died shortly after that. So dreams do come true for, where we'd be without our mothers. So since then, I went on, tried to do great things for our country. I've been on several boards, still staying on several boards, but I would like to share with you on export, and Rudy alluded to this. There's some good news, there's some bad news. Some good news is the CEO magazine recently just published a survey for the second half of 2024. In that second half of 2024, you'll be surprised by this. I was surprised by this, that these CEOs placed an increasing focus on, guess what? Expanding into new. Kenya and Ghana, and also in China, Singapore and China. I'm sitting at my desk, and across my media comes this longshoreman strike. And I had two thoughts that came to my mind. The first one, I won't tell you because we're in mixed company. The second one was, I'm buying shots tonight. I understand what they're asking. I'm a little dumbfounded because I would take a 100% increase in a salary increase and not have any real contribution to society. I would try to keep A&I out of my business as well. But what they don't know, who they're going to impact, they're going to impact a little business you got here up the ways a little bit, was called Walmart. About 47% going to impact them, but it's going to really impact us the worst, small and medium-sized enterprises. That's why I say trade is not a contact sport. Trade is a contact sport, and there's no place for the faint-hearted. We do $1 trillion a year. So every day that they strike, it puts us back 5 days. I know there's some panic buying going on right now, that people are in fear that we may run out of supplies before the year is out due to this strike. But as Rudy was talking about, we hire and pay on an average 18% higher salaries than most domestic businesses. The DEC, I believe, and I stand firmly, in solidarity of the National Association of District Export Council, I support our role in trying to find some resolution for this strike that we can. It's not going to be easy. We need each and every one of you here in the room. But we're tough. We're tough people. In 42 years in business, I've seen a few things. I've been through a few things. I'll go through a few things more. I've not seen any group of people any tougher with resilience, passion to get the job done than small, medium-sized enterprises in trade and exporting. I really mean that. We'll weather this. We'll teach them. McKinsey came out this morning, McKinsey Global came out this morning, hyping small businesses in export, telling us to think big. One of the things I always like to tell clients is try to partner to expand your supply chain, to keep it a little safe. Partner with a large corporation. Partner with General Motors Motor Corporation. Cummins is in Indianapolis, Indiana. Walmart is here. Try to partner with them. And for those of you who are new to export, part of this corporation can take you to 10, 15 countries like that if you get into their supply chains. So these are things we got to do to be creative, be flexible, what I call rigid flexibility. But remember this, the world needs us. And I come back to get to know our congressmen and our senators because we need them more than I can tell you, and the great people that does the work at the Department of Commerce. Thank you so much for that. A lion woke up in the morning, pesky lion, stretched his arms, said, oh man, I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna prove to everybody that I'm king of the jungle. So the lion wakes up and he says, I'm gonna go down there. So he goes through the jungle, Boom, 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 roaring. You see this monkey. The monkey says, oh my God, here comes that pesky lion. Hey, monkey. What, Mr. Lion? Who's king of the jungle? Well, you are, Mr. Lion. That's right. You better not forget it. Lion roaring like, boom, 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 boom. The lion comes upon a longer giraffe. Giraffe with your long neck. Who's king of the jungle? Oh my God. You are, Mr. Lion. You are. That's right. You better not forget it. The lion's really feeling cocky now, really feeling arrogant now. He's going to the jungle more. Boom, 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 boom. And that comes upon the elephant. Elephant said, no, I about had enough of this lion right now. Hey, elephant, who's king of the jungle? The elephant is an uprage and a roar goes, like that. He picks the lion up. He throws the lion back and forth. He slams him down. He slams him back and forth again. He jumps down the lion's throat. Does a tap dance on his tonsils. Comes back out. Throws the lion down on the ground. The lion looks up amazing and says like, okay, Mr. Elephant, it's okay if you can't remember who's king of the jungle. Well, trade is the king of the jungle. Trade will be the king of the jungle. Now countries are doing bilateral agreements, more so than multiple agreements right now. We got to get back to trade game. Just 2 days ago, did you believe this? Australia, who's has a free trade agreement with the United States, their first bilateral free trade agreement with the Middle East. Australia did. So you look for more sources, look for more countries to do and to continue to do business with. I will say this in closing. We had a retreat, and Jonathan, you headed up the retreat, you may remember. And in this retreat, we took people from the Arkansas deck, we took people from another organization. And I sent them out in the woods to kind of chop some wood down here for us as we get this retreat on. So the person from the other organization started chopping wood and chopping wood and chopping wood, never looked up, never looked around, chop, 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 while Jonathan, our person from the Arkansas deck, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, and chop wood, but every hour, on the hour, they would stop and take a 15-minute break. The guy would chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, never looked up, never looked around, chop, 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 while our person from the Arkansas deck would stop every hour and take a 15-minute break. We got enough wood, so okay, guys, we got enough wood, let's get the retreat on. The other person from the other organization went, hold it, pal. We've been chopping wood out here for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I never stopped. I just chop, 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 chop my wood. But yet this guy from the Arkansas deck chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood. But every hour he took a 15-minute break. I don't understand, because the piles of wood have remained the same. Our person from the Arkansas deck said, wait a minute, pal. You saw me chopping wood 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I chop, chop, chop. But every hour on the hour, I took a 15-minute break. He said, yeah, I noticed that. He said, let me tell you something, pal. Every hour on the hour that you saw me stop for 15 minutes, I was actually taking time out to sharpen my axe. So I challenge you for the balance of 2024, take time out to sharpen your axe. You're winners. You're leaders in so many ways. Arkansas, number 8 in doing business in the United States of America. Arkansas, number 12 cost of doing business in the United States of America, down from 18 and improving on. There's great things going. Your ecosystem is fantastic here. And I can still feel Grandpa's spirit here. I'm so happy and proud to be here. When a task has just begun, never leave until it's done. Be it labor, great or small, doggone it, you do it well or not at all. I wish each and every one of you success for today, bright hope for tomorrow. As my catchphrase says, we doze but never close, and have a successful day and think globally. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Oh,
Nice.
thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Malachi.
If I could only blush.
That was fantastic. In fact, hold on. Before you leave the stage, I'd like to present to you a little token of appreciation. Governor Sanders didn't want you to leave empty-handed, so I would like to gift you the Arkansas Traveler. This is a honorary title bestowed upon notable individuals who, through their actions, serve as goodwill ambassadors for the state of Arkansas. The certificate is signed by the Governor and Secretary of State. The award was approved by resolution in early 1941, and the first recipient was President Franklin Roosevelt. While Governor of the state, Bill Clinton bestowed the title upon many individuals. You are now among the company of people like Muhammad Ali, Maya Angelou, Arthur Ashe,
Oh, my God.
Gene Autry, Garth Brooks, Bob Hope, and Ronald Reagan, just to
Oh,
name
my
a few.
God.
So, Dr. Malachi, thank you so much.
Wow, I can only blush.
Thanks, Dr.
I
Malachi.
know half of those people, you know, I bet half of them. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Here's a-
Grandpa.
There you go.
My grandpa. I told you I'm Arkansas. I got it.
Okay. All right. Now, let's hand out some awards. The Governor's Award for Excellence in Global Trade recognizes the exporting success among Arkansas's unique enterprises. Winner of the awards are Arkansas Agriculture, Manufacturing, Aerospace, and other companies actively selling in international markets. So what does it mean to win the award? As the winner of the Rising Star Award, Michael Schreckenhofer of Leather Brothers said, "We send out a press release to our material vendors and customers informing them of this award. By doing this, it bettered our relationship with our suppliers, but it also helped push some export accounts we've struggled to get into in the past, which has resulted in an increase in exports overall." This is exactly what these awards are designed to do. I'm going to ask for a little help with handing out these awards. I'm going to ask Richard Dudaw to the stage. Richard began his experience in economic development with the SBA in Georgia. He went on to start up loan programs with local and national lenders in Atlanta and packaged loans for banks with an expertise in franchise development. In 2018, Arkansas stole him away from Georgia when he joined the SBA Arkansas District Office, leading small businesses to exporting, as well as recruiting and training SBA lenders here in Arkansas. Richard's current role is the International Trade Specialist for the U.S. Commercial Service based here in Little Rock. He works with current and potential exporters in a variety of ways. He assists with foreign direct investment through personal introductions into countries you may be trying to get into. He analyzes trade information, conducts market research, and develops strategies alongside of his clients. We are extremely fortunate to have him as our Executive Secretary. Richard?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and truly a heartfelt joy to be here. I see so many faces of folks that I have worked with, clients that I worked with at SBA that have grown into exporters, and now we get to work with them over here. For those of you who don't know kind of what we do with the U.S. Commercial Service, we are under the U.S. Department of Commerce. And under the U.S. Department of Commerce, the federal agency that I work for is the International Trade Administration. Federal agency, and under the International Trade Administration, they have several divisions. I'm with the U.S. Commercial Service, or the Export Assistance Center. So if you're an Arkansas small to mid-sized enterprise that's interested in exporting, I am the director for Arkansas. I am your person. I am your guy. So please feel free to come up and talk with me, or give me a call. I try to make a point of always telling somebody, I will never tell you I can't help you. What I try to say is, what I hear your situation is this, so if it's not for what we do, here are a bunch of other great resources for you. So please keep U.S. Commercial Service in your thoughts when it comes to international trade and exporting. So we're going to announce the first award winner. Ready? And I'm going to give a brief bio. I've tried to condense it down to just 2 paragraphs on each company. But I kind of feel, because I said my heart really is in this as well personally, because I've been an exporter myself. And I just think it's important that each of these businesses get their time in the light, if you would, for just a minute, just to explain kind of what they do. Because to get an award is a great recognition, but for everyone out there to know what these businesses do, it's a great acknowledgement for them, and they might be a good customer for your product or your service. So we're all I think a lot of us here are sales and business development. So the first award is awarded to Eagle Seed, which is awarded the Agricultural Exporter Award. Eagle Seed is a second-generation family-owned agricultural seed company located in Weiner, Arkansas, and a third-generation rice, soybean, and wheat farmer business carrying on the family tradition of growing crops in the Mississippi River Delta. The company started to help local farmers access high-quality certified seed for higher crop yields. Over time, it built a network of dealers and fellow seed companies that purchased varieties of seed that they did not have. Eagle is an Arkansas licensed seed conditioning, labeler, grower, treater facility, treater facility. The company also has a unique soybean breeding program developing many types of seeds such as rice, wheat, and oats, but concentrated mainly on soybeans that grow taller, stay greener, and produce more forage than standard soybean varieties. This has many advantages for a forage farmer needing leaf and plant material for feeding livestock. It also provides more food per acre for grazing animals in pastures or planted as food plots for wildlife. Now I want to read you a quote from the company. As Eagle developed its wildlife seed business, it started to get interest from Canadian customers. The USMCA trade agreement, signed in 2020, allows for free trade of seed. It can now grow soybeans on its farm, clean and bag them at their facility, and ship them on locally grown wooden pallets into Canada. Most soybeans grown in Arkansas are exported, and China is the #1 customer for those products. Trading with foreign customers is vital to not only local farms, but to most U.S. farms that ship corn, soybeans, rice, wheat, cotton, canola, and many other crops. As a past chairman of the American Soybean Association in 2023, CEO Brad Doyle promoted and supported increased funding in the Farm Bill on market access programs and foreign market development. Both of these programs encourage and promote the export purchases of Arkansas and U.S. grown grains. They are vital to the profitability of family-owned farms in the U.S., unquote. The company has 9 employees and currently exports to 1 country.
So here at Eagle Seed, we are a family-owned business. We started in 1975, and that would be when my mother and father-in-law started. In the mid to early 70s, my father-in-law saw a need for producing and conditioning rice seed. There were limited options on rice seed availability. Soybeans, rice, and wheat is what we grow in our family operation. Growing for seed is a little different than growing for grain. We have a much higher level of cleanliness, phytosanitary inspections that are possibly done for export markets, but the more that we can grow, produce, the more control we have over it, the purity, the germination rate, things that are important for seed. So we're kind of unique in that we have a breeding program here. My wife is a soybean breeder, her father was a soybean breeder, so we can actually take and develop new soybean genetics. We transitioned over to seed, more seed production instead of grain production. I married my wife in 2001, so that's whenever I started getting involved with the family business here. And back then, we were actively exporting soybeans to Japan. Export is still pretty small percent of our business. We definitely, like to see that grow. Opportunity is huge for soybeans worldwide. We have seen over 20, 30 years of actually measuring protein that Arkansas has a higher protein level than other soybeans grown in the Midwest especially. So we do have some unique advantages over other states. I would like to thank the Arkansas Economic Development Commission and the Arkansas District Export Council for their award here. I think there's great potential in the future for Arkansas farmers with projects like this. The more that I can understand how opportunity arises for a state, working with our Secretary of Agriculture, Wes Ward, I think the future looks bright for Arkansas farmers.
All right. Our next award winner is Euronet USA in the Advanced Technologies Exporter Award category. Euronet Worldwide, Inc., headquartered in Leawood, Kansas, has established itself as a global leader in electronic payment services. With a broad array of offerings including ATMs, point-of-sale services, credit and debit card services, and currency exchange, Euronet is a prominent player in the fintech space. Euronet was founded in 1994 with the ambitious goal of revolutionizing electronic payments globally. The vision was clear: to create a seamless, efficient electronic payment network that would bridge gaps in financial transactions across borders. In 1998, Euronet acquired Arxis, a computer software firm located in Arkansas and specializing in electronic payment and transaction delivery systems. This acquisition was more than a strategic move. It was a merger of complementary strengths that significantly enhanced Euronet's technological capabilities and market research. Arxis, now part of Euronet and known as Euronet USA LLC, continues its legacy from its headquarters right here in Little Rock, Arkansas. This branch remains a vital part of the Euronet's global operations, employing local talent and contributing to the state's economic growth. REN, R-E-N, developed and launched in Little Rock, Arkansas, exemplifies Euronet's commitment to advancing payment technology. This modern end-to-end payments platform is designed to handle mission-critical transactions for banks, fintechs, and governments. REN's innovative features include microservices architecture, comprehensive solutions, innovative experiences, and global research, as well as cloud-native computing. The company has 137 employees and clients in 8 overseas markets.
This company in Arkansas started as Arkansas Systems in 1975. A gentleman named John Chamberlain came out of school and was a real techie, and went to work for Systematics, and then decided to go on his own to create Arkansas Systems. But at this time, banks were really starting to want to do their own processing. And John Chamberlain and company, Arkansas Systems, started looking down the road and seeing that banks wanted to run their own ATMs. They wanted to process their own debit cards, ATM cards back then. And so that became the direction of Arkansas Systems. Originally, we had a lot of U.S. banks, the smaller community banks is what I would say. And when we built the software for that, we started to see that this was a real piece of premium level software. And the rest of the world had no ATMs yet, really didn't have the premier software that we were developing, so we started to really actively sell outside the United States. We have data centers all over the world now as Euronet. We have customers Latin America, Caribbean, Asia Pacific, Hungary, Greece. We're working on an opportunity in Africa, in Mozambique, where we are providing the software for the backbone of the central banking system that interconnects all of the banks in that country. We all travel, we've been around the world. We're honored to receive the Governor's Award in Global Trade. It fits us. This is what we do. We are international, worldwide, providing software around the world, and I certainly would like to thank them for honoring us with that award.
All right. Our next award winner is a company called Game Composites, which is awarded the Aerospace Exporter Award. Game Composites, headquartered in Bentonville, Arkansas, is an aerospace manufacturer specializing in the development of high-performance and special mission aircraft. Founded in 2013 by Stuart Walton and Philip Steinbach, with a vision to innovate in aviation, the company combines cutting-edge composite technologies with expert craftsmanship to produce aircraft that consistently exceed industry standards. The GB-1 Game Bird, Game Composites' flagship product, is celebrated for its unmatched handling qualities, lightweight design, and superior performance, making it a favorite among recreational and professional pilots, as well as aviation enthusiasts worldwide. And I gotta tell you, when you see the video, it's a pretty mean, cool bird to fly. The company's growing team currently consists of over 100 highly skilled engineers and craftsmen dedicated to pushing the boundaries of aviation. Game Composites prides itself on meticulous attention to detail from initial design to final assembly, ensuring that each aircraft meets the highest safety and performance standards. The 110,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility supports the local economy by creating jobs and positions Arkansas as a leader in advanced aerospace manufacturing. Game Composites is honored with the Aerospace Exporter Award by the Arkansas District Export Council, recognizing its global influence in the aerospace industry. The GB-1 Game Bird has gained international acclaim, and the company has successfully exported its high-performance acrobatic aircraft to markets across Europe, South America, and beyond. This achievement underscores Game Composites' leadership in both the state and global aviation industries.
Game Composites was founded in 2013. Our founders are Philip Steinbach and Stuart Walton, that just really have a passion for aviation and wanted to bring that here to Northwest Arkansas. Our company makes the GB-1 aircraft, and what it is, it's a two-seat ultimate aerobatic category aircraft. It's an all-composite carbon fiber airframe on the GB-1, just used and created with advanced materials. It's quite the aircraft. Ultimately, our owners are buying these aircraft to just enjoy aviation. They'll go out and perform aerobatic maneuvers, do some cross-country flights. The sky is the limit with this aircraft. It can do a lot of things. The exporting of the aircraft started organically, and it was really through Philip Steinbach. He is a world-renowned aerobatic pilot. People know his capabilities. They also want to experience an aircraft that he has designed. And so we currently have aircraft in South America. We have two that will be shipping out here soon to Dubai. We have some out in Malaysia, South Africa. We've got them all over the world. About 20% of our fleet has been exported. We're currently in design and development of a new aircraft. We're right on the beginning phases of that. We've been working really hard with the FAA to make sure we can move forward and make good progress with that, but we will move forward with other aircraft in production here in the U.S. Every one of us here in this building has a drive for aviation. We really love aviation, and that drives everything we do, from our craftsmanship to our safety to our love of our customers and what we want to provide for them. It's really just the core of who we are. We love aviation, and we want everyone to experience that or have that same love or passion that we have with aviation. The AEDC has helped us to just streamline our process as we export our aircraft. Through preparing for shipment or whatever it may be that we need, they've really helped to just streamline that process and make it easy for ourselves to be able to export the aircraft, but also for our customers. We would just want to thank everyone that's been a part of this process. Anything from the Arkansas Export Council to our owners to all the great employees that we have here at this facility that help make this passion and dream a reality.
And Philip, hold on, one more thing. Congressman Womack wasn't able to be here today, but he wanted to present you a letter of congratulations for you and your company.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Our next winner is PS Products, which is awarded the Innovation and Impact in Manufacturing Exporter Award. PS Products, Inc., doing business as Personal Security Products, was established in 1992 by its founder and president, Billy Pennington, and is headquartered, again, here in Little Rock. The company specializes exclusively in the design, manufacturing, and distribution of non-lethal personal protection products, gun concealment items, gun cleaning kits, and more. It claims to provide the very best quality and service to thousands of satisfied customers in the U.S. and abroad. PS Products, Inc. offers privately labeled and branded products and owns 32 U.S. patents to date. Its list of brands include Zap stun guns, Eliminator pepper spray, Peacekeeper gun concealment, and Bullseye gun cleaning kits. PS has a large national and international distribution network with a flexible manufacturing capability. PS Products has a dedicated group of employees that work hard together to uphold its reputation as a leader in the self-defense industry. In addition, it is proud to retain the services of the Arkansas Enterprises for the developmentally disabled for all of its U.S. packaging needs since 1992. The company has 9 employees and exports to 7 countries.
We started in 1992, me and my business partner, Eric Baker, and we started selling a product that people weren't familiar with, which was pepper spray.
At the time, we were selling pretty much to pawn shops and pharmacies, and we would go out and sell by day and package by night out of his apartment. We wanted to branch out, so we decided to do national trade shows.
We started doing the trade shows, and that's where we met people from all over the world and picked up dealers and distributors at those shows, and it's just continued.
Stun guns and pepper spray are pretty much our bell cow items. We do some concealment stuff as well, like clocks and different holsters, but the stun guns and pepper spray are 2 major items. I think we're about 70-30, with 70% domestic, 30% export or international.
We're selling personal security products, and you want to make sure that the end user, if they have to use it, the product is good quality and not junk, and that's what we do.
Billy and myself both come from humble beginnings. Both of us were raised in small country towns here in Arkansas. Small town values, rural values, hard work ethic. Wanted to thank the Arkansas District Export Council for nominating us and for giving us this award. It's a great honor for a small company. It's been in business for 30 years to be recognized like this. Also want to thank my dad, Herb Baker, who at one time worked for us for many years. He really helped instill in me a hard work ethic and helped me become the man I am today.
Well, I think the exposure, is going to be great for us. We appreciate this opportunity, and the nomination and the award that we got. I think that will help tremendously.
Don't want to leave anyone out. Pam, Harper, Karen, Patrick, Francisco, Joanne, Gina McCarley, everyone here at PSP, Tim that's working with us now, everyone here helps make us what we are. Thank them very much.
And our last award winner is a company by the name of the Stecco Corporation, which receives the award for Resilience in Manufacturing Exporter Award. And the gentleman, Ken Gaines, with this organization, he's been one of our District Export Council members for many, many years. He was also a DEC Executive Committee member, served tirelessly for many, many years. He's also a friend of mine and a client of ours at the U.S. Commercial Service. And I want to just introduce his company. So I beam with extra pride because some of the folks that have won the awards, they're new to me. So I'm looking forward to bringing them in as new clients. But this is somebody that is just a great, great guy, a great leader, and someone that I'm just so proud to have as a client. So Steco Corporation, located here in Little Rock, has been involved in designing and creating the world's greatest industrial cutting fluids since 1953. The Tap Magic line of products has become the most widely known name in cutting fluids, with greater precision, superior lubrication, and the best protection for valuable tools. The company experienced a dip in its export sales between 2023 and 2024, but quickly took active measures to reverse that trend. Steco joined the Association of Manufacturing Technology, a trade organization with significant international resources, to further increase its network, and began a project to make its digital presence, including its website, digital advertising, etc., multilingual to attract more international business. Here is a quote from Ken. The U.S. Commercial Service Office in Little Rock has been an invaluable resource for technical export issues related to several countries. They have assisted our company in areas of regulatory compliance, financing, and distribution and marketing that have been instrumental in finalizing transactions and growing our export business. Our export sales have been trending at a 70% increase year over year since 2020. To over 280,000 in 2022, with sales initially to Mexico, and we are additionally exporting to Australia, Singapore, Canada, India, Taiwan, and Colombia. The Arkansas DEC has been tremendously helpful in providing insight, training, and contacts that have contributed to these improvements. Without the DEC's help and encouragement, we would not have the international portfolio of customers we currently maintain today. Steco applied and received the SBA STEP grant, which is the State Trade Expansion Program award operated by the World Trade Center Arkansas, and was reimbursed several $1,000s to attend the largest trade show in its industry, which in turn led to new export sales to 6 new countries. This is a direct example of how the U.S. Commercial Service and our export ecosystem partners assist clients to become even more successful. The company has 7 employees and exports to 8 countries.
And industrial fluids for the metalworking industry. Our primary customers are machinists and fabricators, welders, really anyone that cuts metal. Our company started in 1953 by Mr. V.E. Smith, and he was a machinist, and he had a problem with the fluid that was available at the time, and it didn't work very well and was difficult to use. And so he got in the lab, played around with a lot of different formulations, and came up with a great formula, and so started selling it in California. In 1957, he moved the operation to Arkansas to be more centrally located in the U.S., and we've been here ever since. Exporting for us started a little bit organically. We're blessed to have a very well-known brand name in the United States, and so other industrial companies from around the world began contacting us, asking about selling our product in their countries. We currently export to several different countries, Mexico and Canada, of course, but then also Australia, Colombia, Singapore, several countries in the Caribbean and Central America. Currently, our international sales make up a little less than 10% of our total sales. So obviously there's lots of room to grow there, and so we're actively continuing to seek different countries to sell our product in. We would like to thank the governor for this award, and the Arkansas District Export Council and the Economic Development Commission. We're very excited about being honored in this way, and the state has been so helpful, the Export Council, the U.S. Commercial Service, in providing help from everything from introducing us to XM Bank for ensuring our shipments, to help with filling out documentation that's required for international shipments, to learning how to market our products in the different countries. All of these things and more are things that they've helped us with and allowed us to continue to increase our exports every year. And so for that, we're very thankful and honored to be here today.
Now I'm going to turn it back over to our illustrious District Export Council Chair and the mayor leader.
All right, thanks, Richard, for everything. Congratulations to all the winners. You all are amazing. I love the videos because for the deck, we were fortunate enough to travel to all corners of the state and tour manufacturers, and it's so much fun. And I feel like these videos give everyone a little bit of insight of what we're lucky enough to see all the time. Before I forget, I want to make one more announcement concerning the winners. If you haven't had the pleasure to work with Richard yet, I want to change that. We want to help promote the website globalization review from the U.S. Commercial Service Rural Export Center that Richard performs. What it does is it analyzes your website and it makes it easier for international buyers to do business with you, and it drives more global traffic to your website. So if winning the Governor's Award and visiting with all the VIPs in the room and the press releases weren't enough, the deck would like to add a little extra value. With our partnership with Richard and the U.S. Commercial Service, the deck is going to cover the cost for your website globalization review. I can't wait to hear the stories of what the awards and the websites do for your business. So congratulations. A few quick other thank yous. And I'll get you out of here. Congressman French Hill, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here and help us celebrate the fact that you had 3 companies in your district that won awards today. Thank you so much. Communications Director Scott Harden, thank you for assisting with the press releases and for getting PBS here. You have an amazing talent of making me sound much smarter than I truly am, so thank you for that. To Clark Cogbill, Chip McAfee, and the rest of the team, at the marketing for the AEDC. They worked with all the award winners and shot the videos, and they all looked amazing. Hopefully these videos become great marketing pieces for your businesses. No problem, Siri. I can say it again. I'd like to give a particular thank you to the table of the UALR School of Business faculty, including Dr. Clifton, Dean of the college, and Dr. Mark Funk, Director of the School of Business and Economics Professor. They sponsored a table today and allowed some of their students to join us. In fact, we have 5 students from UALR, we have 4 from CBC in Conway, and we have 2 from Arkansas State in Jonesboro. If you're one of these students, would you guys mind standing for me? Guys, these are the future leaders of our Arkansas businesses. If you haven't had a chance yet to network with them, I think it would be a very good opportunity for not only for them, but for your businesses as well. So to our executive committee, co-vice chairs, Brittany Smart and Mike Schregenhofer, and our infamous treasurer, Larry Walther, thank you all for your leadership and guidance throughout the year and putting up with me during all the executive meetings. And if you've attended any of our meetings, participated in any of our webinars, received our newsletters, which I hope you all sign up for, and are here today, you've noticed a familiar name. Miss Heidi, where are you? Your hard work and dedication have been invaluable to us. Without your contributions, we wouldn't be the organization that we are today. We are truly grateful to have you as part of the deck and appreciate everything you do to help us improve. Thank you. Okay, and finally, our amazing sponsors. You not only made this day possible, but you make it possible to continue our mission and outreach throughout the year. As you can see from the last page of your program, we are hosting a 5-part series starting October 16th called Grow Your Exports. I guess there's no rest for the weary. Please share these with anyone you can think of. These classes are targeting companies that are contemplating selling their product or service overseas and have no idea where to start. This ceremony and these classes are why your sponsorships are so important to us. I hope we created an enjoyable experience this afternoon while showing you that exporting doesn't have to be scary and can be very rewarding. Hopefully your award winners and the deck have inspired you to grow your international client base and create more jobs within your company to accommodate increased sales. Unlike our webinars, there will not be a survey at the end of this ceremony. As Dr. Malachi says, have a successful day and think globally. I really got to get me a cool tagline like that. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Godspeed.